AP Capstone is a non-traditional AP class wherein students pick a research question and spend the whole school year researching, writing, and editing an academic paper and preparing an oral presentation based on the paper. That's all fun and good, but it begs the question, how to pick a topic. Now, you might think that research only falls into two separate categories, STEM and the humanities. But the reality is that there are many different categories or disciplines to choose from, and today I will help you, young researcher, decide on how to pick a topic. First, you have to think of what interests you. Are you a math nerd, history buff, a painter? Do you write and compose your own songs, or spend your free time painting? Because all these and more can be used as great jumping off points. For this video, I will be teaching you how to pick a topic in the humanities. The humanities study the things that make us human, such as philosophy, literature, languages, religion, and even art. If you're interested in any of these subjects, then you should consider writing a paper in the humanities. Now you've picked a discipline. How to go about narrowing down a research question. Philosophy, literature, languages, religion, and art are all very broad, very big areas of expertise. How can you possibly find a question that will keep you occupied for an entire year? At this point in time, you may feel like a small fish in a big pond. But never fear, because finding a research question once you picked out a topic is simple. You just need to remember the acronym FIPS. First, you must find your focus. This can also be called specificity. Let's say you really love Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, and you want to write your paper about it. Well, your first step must be to find one very narrow aspect about that book. For example, here's the title of an actual academic paper I found, Dilemma of Class Classification in Austen's Pride and Prejudice. Think of it as layers to an onion. First, you find your topic, the humanities. Then, you pick a discipline within your topic, literature. Then, you find a work of literature, Pride and Prejudice. Then, you find one narrow aspect of Pride and Prejudice, class relations. If you're interested in languages, you might pick a language, such as Spanish, and then you would narrow that down to maybe verb tenses within Spanish. You'll peel back layers and layers of the onion until you find one highly specific question. That's your focus. The purpose of the paper refers to the gap in knowledge you're filling. The difference between little r research, the kind you did in seminar, and big R research, the kind you're doing now, is the new knowledge you're providing to the body of knowledge, or the BOK. If class relations and Pride and Prejudice or verb tenses in Spanish have already been highly scrutinized and studied, and you can't find a way to put a new spin on it, well then, there's no purpose to your paper. Think of it as one giant puzzle piece, and your paper as a single piece that adds to the larger picture. You can't just take an already existing puzzle piece and repaint it to get credit. Your paper should also be feasible. Keep in mind that you only have a few months, from September to early May, to write this paper. That might seem like a lot of time, but keep in mind that professional academic papers can take years to complete. Also keep in mind that you might not have all the resources professionals have. In the humanities, this mostly pertains to databases. As an AP research student, you automatically have access to the database EBSCO. You can access EBSCO through the San Jose Public Library. In the humanities especially, I would recommend coming up with a method before committing to your question. I would also look at the relevant sources on EBSCO. Sources are incredibly important in the humanities, and as a student without access to all the professional resources, you should make sure that EBSCO has information on your topic. If you study Spanish tenses in EBSCO and nothing comes up, consider another research question, because there is no way for you to complete your paper without relevant sources. The scope of your paper should be small. This ties into the focus and feasibility of your topic. If the focus is too broad, then the project is not feasible because you won't complete it in time. Trying to answer the meaning of life in your paper is too big a scope. Find a smaller, less ambitious project. Remember, to pick a topic in the humanities, you must find a very narrow focus in one field, such as philosophy or religion or linguistics. Your question must follow some kind of gap in knowledge. You should also be able to write the paper in time with the resources you know you have, and it should not be overly broad or ambitious, because that would not be possible with the time and resources you have for this.